Oh, well, you can argue he is the greatest welterweight champion in UFC history, even if he does not make the walk as such here tonight. The Nigerian nightmare, Kamaru Usman, chasing further greatness under the lights tonight.
Just chasing greatness. He's done that time and time again, and this guy's profile continues to evolve from becoming the welterweight champion of the world to passing George St. Pierre in the welterweight rankings to being a star in movies with speaking roles.
Yeah.
The guy is doing everything. But ultimately, in order to do all that, he's got to win. He's got to win tonight, and he has won on many occasions. How does he bounce back from that loss to Leon Edwards? It's time to find out.
You're exactly right, and in the aftermath of that Edwards result at UFC 278, he seemed to handle things pretty well, but obviously that clock is about to start, and all eyes are going to be on the former champ, Kamaru Usman. The Nigerian nightmare, Kamaru Usman, steps inside the octagon. He is ready to fight. Well, DC, like Frank Sinatra, this man has done it his way. The former UFC welterweight and middleweight champion, George Rush St. Pierre. A lot of people believe pound for pound, DC, GSP is the best they've ever seen.
Yes, because he was able to mix everything together so well. When he was fighting a wrestler, he was able to keep the fight standing. When he was fighting a striking specialist, he was able to take him to the ground. His jiu-jitsu and just his full-on MMA game was something that we had never seen in the UFC before. Won the UFC championship at middleweight after being away for 4 years. Just showed how special George St. Pierre truly is.
In terms of MMA application of wrestling, no one has done it better than George Rush St. Pierre. GSP George St. Pierre steps inside the octagon and is ready to fight. Our tale of the tape for this highly anticipated welterweight fight. And now for the particulars, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. It's time! 5 rounds in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, ladies and gentlemen, presenting the former UFC welterweight champion, Kamaru, the Nigerian nightmare, Usman. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, ladies and gentlemen, he is the former UFC middleweight champion and former UFC welterweight champion and the member of the UFC Hall of Fame, George Rush St. Pierre.
Herb Dean, our referee for this one.
Ready.
With respect to Matt Hughes and everybody else, this is a matchup of the two best welterweight champions in UFC history, and you gotta feel good for Kamaru Usman. He wanted this George St. Pierre fight, and it has finally materialized for him too.
Usman feels like this is the last step. This is the last hurdle to cross in order to truly stand alone at the top of the welterweight division's history. It is going to be much easier to say than it will be to do, because George St. Pierre is a beast. And this is the guy that changed mixed martial arts for all time. He can do it all, man. I cannot wait for this one. Man, great job finding a way out, finding an escape to get back to your feet. I give one, I take one. You give one, you take one. That's how this fight is being played out.
All right, early action here. We'll see how soon George St. Pierre can get one of his patented takedowns, but it all works off of the jab that you saw right there.
It does. I mean, he has a beautiful jab, and I've seen him do so much damage with that jab. You know, I keep calling back to fights, but I remember him and Josh Koscheck. The moment the fight started, bang, jab, broken over the bone. Koscheck in Canada, fight's over. George St. Pierre does not throw a range-finding jab. He throws that jab with malicious intent.
Effective punch there by George St. Pierre.
It won't take many of those. Oh my God, he's hurt. He's hurt. Big right hand.
The knee is blocked there. Nice defense by Kamaru. And now some distance as they pull apart. A lot of power on display from Kamaru Usman as he lands yet again there.
Kamaru Usman showed in the Kobe Cup.
That's the biggest system fight thus far. How's his opponent still
I
standing?
mean, I have no idea. This fight is supposed to be over. It might not be over now, but it's got to be over very soon. He's hurting bad, man. That right hook is nasty. Beautiful.
Well, very efficient and effective with the ground and pound strikes here. High-level work by Usman. Really good job to land these strikes from top position. And there it is, another strike on the ground, gets through. Ooh, right into side control, DC.
This is where you want to be now because you get to make your opponent decide. They try to turn back into you, you can attack guillotine. If they turn away to try to get to your knees, you throw your hooks in and you got all your rear choke submissions.
Standing over his opponent here and making these strikes count. Beautiful sequence there by Usman.
Now he switches stances.
All right, he closes the distance, gets the single power tag. Oh, what a connection by him there. His opponent could be out of here soon, DC.
He's almost done. I mean, when you get hit with a shot like that, you don't know whether to run, hide, grab, or wrestle. He's confused. He's as confused as he was.
All right, let us now get you some replays of all the damage done in that previous round, including the strike that opened up the cut.
Yeah, some nasty strikes landed over the course of that round, and it opened up a nasty cut. He has got to find a way to...
You ready to fight? Ready.
All right, round two. All right, next round is now underway. I thought there was pretty good back and forth action in the previous round.
Yes, it wasn't a bar fight. It wasn't two guys throwing the kitchen sink at each other. But you did see times when it came together and you saw the skill level of these two fighters.
And a nice job at least staying upright on that. Usman's bleeding from the mouth, Daniel. Looks as though there's a cut on his lip. Thankfully, he's a lot tougher than I am. Nice. Nicely done. Throws a big right hand, but doesn't find its home. Body kick is blocked. Oh, and he defends another takedown here. I'm not sure when frustration sets in for the wrestler, but been uphill sledding thus far.
Well, he thought that he'd be able to secure these takedowns, and you could see him getting frustrated every single time this balanced fighter defends well. Hats off to the balanced fighter, though. He knew it was in front of him, and they prepared himself accordingly to defend his takedown.
Usman's got a bruise appearing on that left side right now. You got to think that body investment is going to pay dividends later. Well, defense doesn't necessarily win championships in MMA, but he's doing a nice job blocking these shots.
He's not allowing his opponent to get any damage off of him by blocking all these attacks.
Oh, great head movement there. Slips his head off the center line, and defensively, that's exactly what you're looking for.
It's almost like he can telegraph when the punch is coming. When he sees it, he just makes a slight little movement, right or left, to get out of the way and avoid those shots.
Well, he was a little bit lackluster in round one. You can't say the same here in this second round. He has really picked up the pace, an uptick in the aggression and the output, and starting to find his range here in the pocket. All right, seems as though his sole focus is attacking that cut, and man, it's getting bad now. A lot of blood flowing.
Yeah, as it should be. Right? He should be focused on getting to that cut, making his opponent pay. He did the work. He opened up the cut. Now it's on him to continue on the path and make the ringside position coming here to try to stop this fight.
go feeling out process tonight. Both fighters invoking damage on the other DC.
Yes, we knew this would be very competitive. We knew that this was a tough fight. We knew that both guys would be very evenly matched in this fight. But we didn't expect to see this type of...
Oh, big knee! Oh, he gets back up, but barely. Look how wobbly he is. Another knockdown! Outstanding round. Do you believe it? Another 5 minutes coming up. All right, so that round is in the books. Usman's lip is really torn up right now. You hope that this doesn't mean the fight is going to be over, but they might have no choice but to stop the fight, just given all the blood that is coming out of his mouth right now. Well, that was a damaging 5 minutes. We'll see how he can recover over this 60 seconds. We'll show you some replays now from that previous round.
He was on the receiving end of some big blows, and he wasn't moving his head well. His head was on the center line. He was a stationary target, and his opponent opened up a nasty cut on him. He has got to move his head to limit the damage that he's taking.
Third round underway. Power straight there. He could be in trouble.
He's in trouble.
Unbelievable!
Holy.
Yeah, that was just a gorgeous shot to end the fight right there. I'm not even sure the opponent really saw it coming. So back to the drawing board for him, but for the winner, this is certainly exactly what he was looking for here tonight. All right, here now, Bruce Buffer with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 15 seconds of round number 3. Declaring the winner by knockout, George Rush St. Pierre!
How about it, folks? George St. Pierre, your winner by knockout. And he did not play the long game here tonight, champ.
A lot of people say George St. Pierre is a decision machine. Not tonight. GSP gets a knockout victory.